Nothing left to negotiate, no deals left to make. This is what hitting bottom actually looks like.
All right, well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 2, This Too Shall Cast podcast. Me and my buddy Lenny here. We're on episode 2. The first episode, a lot of people enjoyed it, so we're happy to put out the second one. And this episode's topic will be hitting bottom.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Lenny, how was the week?
I've had a great week. I've really enjoyed putting our last piece of work out there. I have got some amazing feedback. I've got some. I asked for what I like to call questions, comments, or constructive criticism.
Yeah.
And I've been
I
getting
got a little bit of that too.
I've been getting a little bit of all of that. So that said, I'm looking forward to today to recording again.
Yep.
We have a little rap session prior to starting. We didn't really pick a topic for this until
we sit right here.
Till we sit right down a few minutes ago. So we're going to encourage you at this time, if you like what you're seeing and you feel engaged, to maybe add a topic or a question in the comments, and we can do our best to work it in and address them as we get around to it.
Yep.
So but yeah, we'd like to thank everybody who took the time to watch last week.
Yep.
We encourage you to do so again. Let us know what you think. Smash the like button.
Yep.
Comment,
subscribe to the channel.
All that stuff.
Yeah, we're trying to get more out there in like Spotify land and like the Apple podcast. That I haven't figured it out yet.
Right.
But we are here on YouTube.
It helps.
100%.
It helps our friend Al. Algorithm.
Yeah. Algorithm.
Right? So thanks very much, everybody.
Yeah. All right. Well, without further ado, I know you're probably waiting to get our insights on this. So, yes, before every episode, we sit down and we brainstorm. And like we said, hitting bottom is a topic. It's a hot topic in the recovery community.
100%.
I think also it's a term very well known outside of the recovery community, because there's, even before I came into recovery myself, before I even knew about meetings, before I even knew about that, people joke around, people throw it around. It's like the first step is admitting you have a problem, right?
For sure.
And then there's also murmurs about hitting a bottom, or it's like you got to hit your bottom first before. So I think, we got a couple things laid out here. First, we're going to start with, and I'm pretty sure Lenny, he brought it up, and we're going to put it on screen here. But what it is, we're talking about this circle of opportunity, circumstance, and willingness. So to kind of shed a little bit of light on that, you can't have if you take one out of that chain, the rest fall apart. Is that, yeah. Lenny, you can walk us through it a little bit. What do you mean by
opportunity, circumstance, and willingness?
Can I just say one more thing?
Certainly, please do.
I want to preface it a little bit. So hitting bottom, we're breaking it down into these three. Like without this, you're not going to get to a bottom, correct?
Yeah.
Lenny, is that what we're talking about? Okay.
Once again, you know what? I feel like when we open any discussion, I feel like I should preface it with the fact that no discussion on a topic such as individualistic as addiction and recovery can be all things to all people. So take everything that we say with a grain of salt. This is our take on basically based on our knowledge and our experience. So it may or may not ring true with different people. Different people may have different ideas on what it takes, and we're interested. So if you have a different take on it, please feel free to let us know.
Yeah.
But going back to the basic trifecta of kind of what we came to with respect to what it takes for an individual to hit bottom is, first of all, opportunity. Now, when we get the opportunity to change our lives, when the opportunity comes along, I have always spoken of it in terms of a window, a literal window that opens. And that window
Could be.
We never know, first of all, when it's going to open,
Yep.
or how long it's going to stay open.
Yeah.
Like for me, there have been there were times during my active addiction when I was offered basically the help I needed. Mm-hmm. So that's what I mean by opportunity.
So someone offering you a stint at a treatment center,
at a rehab center, or a place to go that was safe to stay, to get well.
Okay.
Or I myself and other people I know have had their names on lists at certain facilities. Mm-hmm. And when that phone rings, and they say, "Can you come?" That's what I call receiving an opportunity. So
could we also, and I just want to maybe put multiple spins on, because
sure.
Let's say, for example, the opportunity arises where there's, like, let's say you have an addict that you're dealing with, mm-hmm. and we've been the addict. We mm-hmm. were not so much, but if you have an addict that you're dealing with, and you get them in front of, say, someone in recovery,
correct?
Would that be an opportunity for that addict?
That's an opportunity.
Okay.
I think things like, if you remember intervention, when you walk. When someone walks into that room and sits down, and says, "We have this spot and a ride there, and everything's taken care of," basically that's the first leg of the three. The second one is the circumstances. Now, by circumstances, what I'm specifically referring to is the right number of kicks in the head, the right number of self-disappointments, the right number of reasons why not doing what we're doing is a good thing, mm-hmm. is a bad thing, mm-hmm, right? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. When the evidence starts to mount, mm-hmm. I know at certain places where I've been, I've seen people draw a line down the center of a piece of paper and say, "These are reasons to keep doing what you're doing, and these are reasons to change." So when you have a certain number, when that hits a certain magic number, then I think people are prompted to change. So that'd be the second leg of the three.
Okay.
And so once again, opportunity, circumstance, and the third one is the willingness. Yeah. And by willingness, it's such an individual concept.
It is. Yeah.
Where
the whole thing is
the
choose your own adventure.
I mean, if I had to say anyone was actually of utmost importance,
right?
It's like that old joke. How many addicts does it take to change a light bulb?
Yeah.
Just one.
Just one.
But first, the light bulb has to be willing to change.
So right? That's what I'm saying. Like, Letty's full of them, man.
I got a lot of them.
Yeah.
So
for a whole podcast.
So when we have the circumstances line up, when the opportunity is presented to us, mm-hmm. and we are willing, and that for a lot of people looks, it can come in a number of different forms at a number of different levels.
Like someone's bottom.
Someone
is, but like between two people, bottoms will look vastly different.
Absolutely.
Right. So, in our fellowship, we see some are sicker than others.
Yeah.
Some people have a higher pain tolerance. But all these are very, subjective to the individual, and
Yeah, for sure.
you can't really determine someone's bottom, even though it's like
It's
you'd want them.
for them it's very tangible, it's very distinguishable.
Yeah.
But I think if we had 10 people who
Yeah.
have hit bottom
Yeah.
walk into this room and describe what it looked like,
Right.
we would have 10 very varying, there are some people who come home from a golf weekend with the boys and
They're like,
you know what? That was enough.
yeah, I couldn't even keep scoring my game.
Right? My
Oh.
golf game suffering,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I was with a couple
this
guys
is-
from work, and my boss was on the next hole, and I'm done.
Yeah. I was a mess at the after party.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And and there are others
Right.
who have to take it a little further.
Yeah.
Who take it a little further, than,
Yeah.
or in some cases a lot further
A
than
lot
that.
further.
Right? So
Yeah.
so it's
There's a
really
huge
not,
range.
and that's funny. It's really not for us to judge
Yeah.
where that happens, but I think when it does, I think that's the one thing that people I know who've gotten to a point where they're willing to change their life. That's the one thing we have in common is our own, as I said last episode, our own personal 9/11, whatever that happens to be.
Yep. Yeah. It's
So-
like my bottom, okay, just to give someone, like Lenny and I, we come from very different places, but we ended up in the same spot. We both hit a bottom, right? His bottom is vastly different than mine.
For sure.
My big thing coming into recovery, looking to get better, was I was comparing my bottom to everybody because it was quote unquote not the it wasn't like
Classic.
the predetermined societal bottom
Yeah.
that everyone thinks you have to get to before you stop using.
You weren't homeless in an alley.
No, but like there were things that I was doing that should have been a bottom. It wasn't until this certain thing happened, I got kicked out. I got booted into the gutter, man. That's what happened to me. But like run-ins with the law, near-death experience, like all these crazy things happened in my active addiction. But those weren't the things that caused me to, right?
Right.
And I find, and that's a very interesting, like it's one thing I had to get over because I thought, well, my bottom's not bad enough.
No.
But you forget all of those other
For
times.
sure. I think we have we have, much like my kids when they're adolescents, we have selective memory, and part of a definite part of my disease is that I tend to forget the things that I need to remember the most in their order of importance in order to continue on my merry way of whatever it is that Lenny wants on a particular day. What I wanted to say is that for me, if I, it all boils down to me for forks in the road. And there have been several times throughout my quote unquote career when train wreck, when things have happened that, retrospect's 220/20. Looking back, I would say, of course, a normal person
Would probably,
would run screaming from the life I was living.
yeah.
I could point out, a dozen times or more that I triple jumped over those things. And
Yeah.
and the interesting fact is that for myself, it wasn't those major things or a combination of those major things that made the difference for me. What made the difference for me is if once again, I do my best not to talk in cliches, but for me, it truly was a straw that broke the camel's back. In the name of, thank heaven, I'm just now, man, I'll try, but I'm just now able to talk about this without getting really emotional.
Oh, yeah.
I got a message from our daughter on Christmas Eve, and for whatever reason, I'd gotten messages from the children and from my brothers and sisters and from concerned members of the business community and people who obviously saw the path that I was on. And before I was willing,
Mm-hmm. Just was gonna say.
right?
Yeah.
Before I was willing, you couldn't beat me over the head with that message and make me hear it.
Right.
But that night, under certain circumstances,
Yep.
and a certain opportunity
Right.
to change my life, lined up with the willingness, and that was what did it for me. I ended up, Christmas Day is my clean date, and I got a Christmas miracle that day.
Yep.
I left a place of death and destruction, and went to a safe place, and it was just that little. It wasn't any of those major, like I said, those major catastrophic legal troubles or financial difficulties or homelessness,
Quote unquote bottoms.
cliche
bottoms.
quote unquote bottoms.
Right.
A lot of people that I talk to say the bottom has a basement.
Yeah. There's a trap door in that.
There's a trap door in the
right?
bottom, and so if and I guess it's once again it's an individual thing. How much can you take? You know, and as I also said last week is one of the other things I think that we have in common, a lot of us who struggle with addictions of all sorts. This is absolutely not specifically biochemical or substance related. You want to talk gambling addiction, you want to talk shopping addiction, you want to talk food addiction.
Yeah.
We seek our destruction one whatever at a time.
Yeah.
Until it consumes us completely.
Yeah.
And if absent some cataclysmic event, it only goes one way, right? After unless things change. So that said, that's kind of.
Well, and I wanted to just touch on with this circle and everything you're saying. It all goes back to this. We can call it the circle of hitting bottom or whatever. We can find some cool name for it, put it on a t-shirt later.
Yeah.
But like Lenny was saying, we skipped over a lot of these incidences that were brought on by our addiction.
Correct.
But I wasn't ready. I wasn't willing. And everything you were saying, I'm like, the thing that keeps popping into my head, when we're beaten, we become willing.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's an unfortunate truth, or an undeniable truth. Some reference back to episode 1, go watch if you haven't watched it. Mm-hmm. But it's an undeniable truth that addicts have to get beaten.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
To a certain point. Now like I said, we all got different pain tolerances, right? Some people get their ass handed to them.
Only in relative terms does somebody's bottom look softer than other person's, like
to someone else.
Yours
right
hurt like a SOB to you.
Yes.
Mine was particularly just enough. And I have a friend also who says that if I had tried to come in to change in a new life 2 days before I did, then it might not have stuck because I hadn't had enough.
Yep.
And if I tried to come in after that window of opportunity, first of all, the window might have closed, and secondly, I might not see the point anymore. Because that's how fast my willingness to change.
That window you were talking
once
about.
Again, that it's all dependent on those three ones. Once my window of opportunity passes, we get a certain number of those windows, right? And I myself, I'm not, I have to, sometimes I feel like I need to be a little careful about what I disclose here. But not, we're going to get to not giving up
Yeah.
a little bit later on.
Yep.
But I have multiple experiences with both detox centers, with treatment centers, with interventions,
Just plain old abstinence, like
plain
on your
plain
own, you know?
trying it on my own.
Yep.
And that's kind of one of the things that I it works exactly when it's supposed to work.
Yep.
And so I basically I tried it on my own this way, and then I tried it on my own this way, and then I tried it on my own that way, and then I tried it on my own on Tuesdays, and then I tried it on my own. I'm just going to stay away from this substance.
Well, and it's also too like even in the depths of our addiction, we know it's wrong. We know it's not doing like
For sure.
for the most part. We're also trying to forget about it.
Yeah.
We were talking about what our intention was when we went and used, and a lot of it was to rid us of guilt and shame of the life we were living, and
Correct.
also expressing my rights to freedom, as I like to call it, right?
Well, I'm only hurting myself.
Yeah,
after all.
if I'm not hurting nobody else, who cares?
What do you care?
Yeah, what do you care? Mind your
Right,
business. I'm
right.
just going to get high.
For sure.
You know?
And that's another one that stings me to no end in retrospect, because being numb, being in oblivion, makes me numb and oblivious to the concerns and the pain that I was causing, obviously, others. And so that's something that fortunately over time.
Well, how else would you have kept using?
How exactly?
If you cared about what people,
if I
hurting people.
The only thing that took away that empty feeling was more of the same.
Yeah.
To a point. Until it stopped working.
The insanity of it all.
I believe that's probably maybe that's another leg is when the solution to whatever it is you're trying to fix becomes more of a problem than the original problem you were trying to solve.
So when the solution becomes the problem.
Correct. And that's another thing that I think is coming to the forefront.
Yeah.
Of addiction treatment and the understanding of the addictive cycle.
Yeah.
Is that a solution, oblivion, or escape looks like a solution to a problem, but actually ends up creating more problems and becomes a bigger problem than the original problem we were trying to solve.
Right.
As I'm fond of saying, that left in the dark, my neglected issues have babies.
Yeah.
And when I choose to return, or when I'm forced to return, what was one problem is now 6 or 12, and those problems are worse.
They multiply.
And like gremlins.
Yeah.
And we are, once again, that is it's a spiral. It's a never-ending circle. It's trying to keep all of those balls in the air, while trying to solve a problem externally that the solution was internal.
Right. Yes.
Looking outside of us.
Yes.
For solutions to problems that were actually internal problems.
Right.
Right.
I mean, without knowing any better.
Without knowing any better.
Like we found a solution early on, and it was getting high.
I think we are hardwired. Maybe not everybody, but I know for a fact I am hardwired to avoid pain.
Yeah.
I'm hardwired to protect my ego.
Right.
I'm hardwired to avoid consequences.
So you're human.
That's
what you're saying.
All of those things I think would be fairly common among if you polled people. It's just that there's a disconnect for me somewhere between the solution, the temporary solution to those problems, and the consequences of engaging that solution.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
And on that note, I wanted to maybe move us into the kind of next segment where, because we're talking about, you know, encountering the pain and, you know, the solution, and it actually end up being our problem. Like we have to suffer. We have to be beaten to some degree because it's really just part of the process, you know. I mean, if it was all pancakes and rainbows,
Yeah. Everyone would do it.
everyone would do it, and there would be no recovery
Correct.
program, right? Because
Correct.
everyone would be just
Correct.
skipping along, loving life. But there's something that gets in the way of that,
What's that thing?
and it's a very it's an inconspicuous thing that gets in the way of our beatings and our pain.
Yeah.
And that is it's enabling. It's our enablers. Typically family members and
Spouses,
family
members,
friends,
who just want to see us do well.
employers.
They just want to see us do well.
Right, and they
Right? They just want to be better.
and they're willing to, you know, throw money at it. They're willing to throw rides to it. They're willing to throw whatever.
I think it completely equates to throwing themselves on the tracks.
Yeah.
And we all know what happens if you try and stand in front of a train.
You want to know another one I got?
Go
got
ahead.
A good one. Lenny's got a lot. I got some.
Go ahead.
Setting yourself on fire to keep the other person warm.
Correct.
Right?
Boom.
When you enable.
Boom.
As an enabler, I've enabled too. Like in my,
Absolutely.
drug-free life, I also have people in my life who I've had the opportunity to enable, and I've enabled.
Correct.
So like it's easy to fall into that trap
No, it's
because you love them
it's-
and you want to see them do well.
it looks like love.
It does. It feels like
at,
love.
at the end of the day, and it feels like love.
Hell
and
yeah.
You know what? I also, for me, it's a bit of a double-edged sword in that I have a tough time saying that it's a bad thing in all circumstances. And I think we touched on this a little bit earlier in our pre-discussion, that anything that, you know, if addiction ends at a certain point when I get so bad that things have to change, anything that helps me get from point A to point B faster without stopping the journey altogether,
Yeah.
without that abrupt stop at the end,
Right.
I consider in some ways potentially helpful. Right?
From our perspective.
From our perspective.
Yeah.
From our
From
perspective.
the addict perspective.
From the addict's perspective.
who's
And it
survived
doesn't, you know, I mean, that said, I believe in the value of tough love. I believe in the value of allowing somebody to face their consequences. I think there's a lot to be said for the fact that having someone to wipe my ass and bail me out,
Yep.
or give me a place to sleep when I had nowhere else to go, is not quote unquote helping me. However, I think out of a lack of knowing what the hell else to do with the problem that was Lenny, I think a lot of people over the years, thank you, have cut me a break, have provided me with cut me a break in just not knowing what else to do.
Yep.
I've been the recipient of countless unwarranted gifts, kindness,
Yeah.
understanding,
Forgiveness.
I remember the first time I went to treatment center. I went in to see my boss. I was DJing in a bar at the time, and you know, when you realize that you have these admissions to make to people, and certain people that you're responsible to. There's probably 4 or 5 people that I needed to go and tell, and this boss was one of these people. So I walk into his office at a now defunct former bar at the end of the street in Collingwood that will remain nameless.
Unless you're from Seawood.
Unless you're from the wood.
Yeah.
And I went into his office, and I don't think I had ever had a lower day in my life. Okay? And I went in there, hat in hand, expecting him to chastise and judge and lower the boom on me for the fact that I was leaving him in a lurch on a weekend, just prior to the weekend, to go and check myself into rehab.
Yep.
And I can't forget, like it was yesterday, and it was actually 1991. I remember it was like it was yesterday. He opened the drawer, he pulled out my pay for the weekend coming, counted it out to me and says, "You're going to need cigarettes." And he said, "Your job will be here for you when you get back." So some of you know who that probably was.
Right.
You old school townies will know who that was.
Right.
So here I am. I burst into tears, obviously.
Yeah.
Your job will be here when you get back. Take all the time you need to get well. And you know what? That was a scene that repeated itself throughout in my years of bouncing off the bottom and waiting for all of those things to line up.
Yeah.
Right?
I like that, bouncing off the bottom.
Bouncing off. I was not on the bottom.
Right.
I was bouncing off the bottom.
Just hovering above it, eh?
Just enough to justify staying where I was.
Hell yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah, I love that.
But so yeah, I can't address this topic without addressing my siblings, our parents, our dear departed parents, and who had to bear witness, and it's not like I was oblivious at the time, but I think, as you already so astutely put it, I had somewhere to escape from that.
Right. Yeah, we were talking about that.
I had something to take my mind off it.
Right.
From time to time.
A relief.
Some
release
kind of
valve.
Some kind of relief or release valve.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine the pressure.
Yep.
Or the stress.
The long nights.
The long nights,
Yeah.
watching the phone.
Yeah.
The stories that would make it back to my family.
Yep.
That I had no control over. Being from a small town, it's almost like
people talk.
I've had several instances where the news beat me home and I was heading straight home. And the news is faster than you getting home sometimes.
Yeah.
So there were times when my siblings in Toronto or in Montreal would get a phone call from someone saying, "We're really worried about Lenny. How's your brother?" And and this is one of the things that come out at over Christmas dinners later, is that I can't count how many times someone walked up to them. They told me someone walked up to them and said, "How's Lenny?"
Right.
Not "How's Lenny?"
It's like, I want to check in on.
Yeah.
Out of concern.
Out of sheer concern, and I think that the weight of that I put on them as a result of as my sponsor puts it, ripping and running. I don't know that I'll ever be able to fathom how profoundly I affected them.
Yeah.
And our parents, because so that said,
I will say shout out to my parents too, because I know they watch if maybe not episode 2, but either way, I can't go through this section of the podcast without, paying them their well-earned respects. Having, again, those, the cops show up before I do, or just the absentness of me.
Or,
And
Alex, even when you were there,
right, that's what I'm saying. Even when I was there, they knew my physical location.
correct.
I still wasn't there.
Correct.
And
Correct.
me being a parent now myself, I would be able to tell you as soon as that my child, let's say they start using, as soon as that happens, I will know.
Yeah.
Because I've watched them progress through life all the way till now, and then when a dramatic change happened, because when I was ripping and running, I thought I had him fooled.
For sure.
Figured nobody knew.
100%.
I figured I was being, I was being deceptive, but it's because I knew I was doing these wrong things. But at the same time, I was my own person. I could express my own free will and do whatever the hell I wanted as long as I wasn't hurting nobody. But that's the denial. I would say maybe even the first case of denial that I contracted. Correct. Was, deceiving my loved ones. Yeah. Because, my addiction was saying, we're fine.
We're going.
Yeah. What's the big deal? Nobody, blah, 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 blah. And, God loved them. They were very patient with me. They did not enable me a lot. Yeah. Packs of smokes here and there. Yeah. But I would tell you, and some tasty treats while I was at work, because they knew how bad it was, and they just didn't want to see me suffer. But
for sure,
I mean, rarely are we talking real cash. Yeah. So
I think it got to that for me. I remember the day. I remember the day our parents asked for their house key back.
Yeah. Yep.
And not like they were going away or they needed it. Right. But
you weren't kicked out, but you couldn't come and go.
I couldn't come and go as I please.
Yeah. Again, not a bottom.
Not a bottom.
Just inconvenience.
You know what else I want? I want to also retrospect once again. Yeah. Stevie Wonder should have seen this coming. but really, at the end of the day, I also at the risk of not alienating anyone, I truly believe that you and I, despite the differences in the way that our families handled or dealt with it, the fact that they remained interested and supportive to whatever degree they were comfortable, the fact that they were willing to come closer and to back off puts us far and away ahead of a lot of people who do not have that advantage at all due to the circumstances. Fair. Some people have parents who are in the throes of the same thing themselves, or they have no idea how to handle it. So I've run into countless people who are like, "Well, I'm kicked out." Yeah. I'm 14. Yeah. I'm kicked out. Yeah. I'm on my own.
That was all my friends.
A lot of my friends kind of raised themselves from a very young age. Yeah. A lot of people, and once again, the paths to this thing run in never run in straight lines, no. but they always end up. Your bottom is your bottom. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. And there's no predetermined path. There's no predetermined signal to signify to say anyone wondering when they're going to stop.
Right.
It's really a matter of opportunity, circumstance. It's right place, right time. Yeah. And the right right amount of pain.
Certainly,
right?
Circumstances.
And circumstances to really just have somebody want to change.
It's like pulling the handle and getting so many sevens.
Right. Yeah. It's a lottery, man.
It's a lottery.
For real.
Right?
And I mean, it's even in our...
So not, this is, you know,
Even
also,
in our fellowship. you
some
know?
people manage to come in, change their lives, first time out of the gate. I think very, very, very few people have that experience.
Right.
I think most
Yep.
most people in enacting real long lasting change
Yeah.
have to take several
Kicks.
stabs at it.
Yeah.
And those, you know, those, once again, in retrospect, because I'm looking back on, I've got a good head of steam going in my recovery right now.
Yep.
I don't intend on giving it up for anything.
Perfect.
Today,
That makes me happy.
today,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But you know, there have been several stops and starts.
Yep.
There have been, you know, I could pass a lie detector test telling you that I was ready,
For real.
and
Yeah.
truly believe what I was
Truly
saying.
believe in the absolute depths of your disease.
In the depths of my soul,
Yeah.
and
I think that's a really important point to touch on.
I think so as well, because you know, most often, the question most often is, I want to soften the language to for all audiences, but what the heck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Only the word they use is not heck.
No. No.
What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And
The people outside looking in.
looking in.
Yeah.
But to me, in the throes of it, like I said the other night at a meeting, everything I ever did seemed like a great idea at the time.
At the time. Sure. We're just doing the best we can with what we got.
I was doing the best I can, and you know, I don't know that I ever. A lot of people got hurt, and
And we feel the pain.
a lot of stuff went missing.
Right.
But I don't think I ever put on my socks and shoes and went, I'm gonna go out tonight
Yeah.
and mess with somebody to the best of my. I'm gonna
Right.
somebody's day.
Yeah.
Right up.
I'm going to get high. Is probably how it started.
That's how it started.
Yeah. Our
Fix-
buddy's coming to get me. We're going to go get a pickup.
I'm gonna fix this hole in my soul at any cost.
Yeah. And then it just
And
snowballs.
then whatever happens in the pursuit of that is out of my control.
Yeah.
To some degree. So when people were asking me what the heck is wrong with you, really, I was as confused as they were.
You didn't have an answer? What answer did you have?
I had-
There's nothing wrong with me?
There's
Is the first, is usually it's like,
the defense comes
Defense.
out, and I say, I don't have a problem. You
Yeah.
have, my problem is that you have a problem,
yeah, yeah.
right?
And that's the first,
Of course.
but then, you know, there's,
So then we get into ourselves and we start to have to think about it in our quiet moments.
correct. And I was just going to say, that reflective,
that-
it does happen,
It does happen.
but it's a dark place.
It's a dark place. So somewhere between runs,
Uh-huh.
or
When it all runs out.
when it all runs out, or when it's not doing the trick.
Fair enough.
When it's, you know what?
When it's a bad batch.
When it's, you know what? Out and out, good batch, bad batch.
Yeah.
I think at some point
It just,
it stops working.
yeah.
You
just
know?
can't get
I couldn't.
any higher.
I couldn't pile enough into my system to
Yeah.
change, to fill that hole
yeah.
in my soul, right?
Yeah.
So
Enough to knock out an elephant.
and
right?
still going.
Still going.
Still-
So having said that, and it's important, I think, for our enablers to understand that even when we are in the absolute grips of this thing called addiction, we are still in there, right? Mm-hmm. And I believe our enablers believe that more than we do. Mm-hmm. And they want to see us so bad that they will stop at nothing. Mm-hmm. You know, for the enablers, some people, they don't have that in their life, and they're just like, all right, get out of here, right? Hit the curb. But
And that's what some people need.
that's what some people need. Like I was never kicked out.
Yeah.
You know, and I will stand by that in my own thing and just whatever works, right? But you know, you give an addict money, you're blocking that
For sure.
that pain process
sure.
to occur, right?
For sure.
So having said that, and that pain, that process where Lenny so eloquently alluded to was skipping off the bottom. I think that is just so brilliant, and it describes it so well, because every time you hit that bottom, you experience a lull in your life, and then you turn your head, you
For sure.
ignore, because
yeah.
it's ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance is bliss.
And nothing can go wrong. The denial is so thick and heavy, and the veil is so it's so blinding.
You know, I felt like
It's easier to ignore than
I felt like you know, not to.
no. But that's what I'm saying is that's the next topic.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was a nice way of putting it.
I felt like the guy at the track.
Yeah.
Who was like, okay, today's going to be the day.
Right. Yeah.
Things are going to be.
How many times?
Things are going to be different today.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Put it all on. Let it all ride. Put it on red.
Yeah. Everything I got.
Everything I got.
Yeah.
Right, and then figure it out
with full intention,
belief
and you know, motive. You know, I want to get better because my life's a mess. And then
all evidence to the contrary.
By the end of the night,
burn it all to the ground again.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Starting from zero.
Yeah, and any addict listening, you know, I think you can identify with that, regardless of what it is.
I think that. Yeah, that's a common denominator. I think for a lot of us is the sense of not wanting to give up. Somewhere inside you, either within you or from someone else, needs to come the light of hope for change. And I think that leads us into the last thing that we want to talk about today, right? Yeah. So for the last thing that we want to talk about today, I want to talk about the most valuable piece of advice I've ever been given inside or outside of recovery circles. It's something that pervades business, it pervades sociology, self-improvement, but primarily in the rooms of recovery, it's the concept of keep coming back, of not giving up. What do we say in the program? We said don't quit.
Yeah, don't quit 5 minutes before the miracle happens.
5 minutes before the miracle happens.
Right.
As somebody who spent a lot of years bouncing off the bottom, who was tempted to give up, and basically, if you count up all the reasons why things were falling apart, I very easily could have. And someone posted something on Facebook, which is another one of my addictions today. Somebody posted something on Facebook, that said, I just want one person in my life who will never, ever give up on me. And thankfully, from my default setting now, my immediate thought and comment was, yeah, you. Right? Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who gives up on you, as long as you don't give up on you.
Yeah.
Right? And this thing left untreated only goes one way, regardless of how.
Ultimately, the one-way trip is the ultimate.
The one-way trip is the ultimate bottom.
Yeah. There's only one bottom you can't come back from.
The only one bottom you can't come back from.
Yeah.
That's another way to put it. But so with respect to keep coming back
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily always mean to the rooms of recovery. It means that if you get knocked down 7 times, get up 8 times.
8 times. Yeah.
It means that it doesn't work, if you're tempted to say it doesn't work, until it does.
Well, friends of mine, I know a friend of mine who has over 50 white key tags.
Yeah.
50.
Which a white key tag is what we're given in some fellowships.
Yeah, some fellowships. I mean, sort of a welcome. Call it a welcome chip.
So if you come in,
yeah,
and it's your first meeting, or you're just coming back from going out.
Yeah, some research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get a white welcome chip. So he's saying his friend has.
So I know of multiple people who have a vast collection of just for today or welcome chips or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
But I think what it alludes to is that they never stopped coming back. They never stopped showing up.
Yeah.
And you just don't really know when it's gonna catch, or but I mean, it's the same thing when it comes to outside of the rooms. If you have if there's another route, don't stop. I will say there's no shame in continuously coming back, trying to get your life together. But there is shame in stopping.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
For sure. You lose when you stop trying.
Right.
So whether your thing is conventional therapy and you are not getting any results from your therapist, maybe another therapist.
Sure.
Maybe be more honest with your therapist. Maybe try a different avenue. Maybe discuss something different.
Doesn't paint therapy. It might just be the therapist.
It might just be the therapist.
Got
it might just be if it's conventional dogma or religion that you choose to follow to make yourself well, more power to you. Keep trying. Right? If it's whole, holistic approaches to this stuff.
Yeah.
If it's even I would go as far as to say, because I don't claim to have the only answer. If it's harm reduction that you're pursuing.
I was just thinking the same thing, man.
It's because we're on the same wavelength. If it's harm reduction, pursue that.
Yeah.
Right. So even at the end of the tunnel, at the end of the light at the end of the tunnel, is that things can be different.
Turn around for you.
Things can turn around.
Yeah.
And I think the more people, it's funny that the more people I've met, Eminem said, the bottom made more champions than the mountain ever did.
Yeah. Wow.
Right. So if we stick around and don't give up on ourselves, primarily, then if there's still breath in the body, then there's still hope.
Well, and then I was also gonna say, take maybe half the effort you put into picking up, into recovery or getting well. You will get well,
and you'll be fine.
You will be fine. Like what I'm saying is we will chase death.
Yeah.
For fun.
Staying messed up is exhausting.
Right. But I mean, we'll do it. Like I was saying, like when I first got clean, I was so worried about losing my fun.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what I was doing for fun was killing me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Mm-hmm. So why is it that, to me, this is the kind of conundrum of the disease, the insanity of the disease, is that it's a hard press, or it's an intentional effort to do the right thing for ourselves, because it's, it goes against, like, my disease. If I start doing that for myself, the disease loses its power on me, and I actually get better,
Correct.
And I start making my way out of it, but the disease wants none of that.
For sure.
And I just, I love that understanding that I was given over this time I've been in the recovery process, because it's really helped me understand, even in other areas of my life, in like being clean, right? Because I will chase after the thing. I will kind of like drool or lust over the thing that will bring my life unmanageability. Doesn't have to be death.
No.
It could just mean I chase after things that make my life uneasy,
For sure.
right?
And that's, I think, the phrase that pops to mind there is to strive for progress rather than perfection.
Yeah.
To recognize the fact that we are works in progress,
Yeah.
and that, thankfully, as my friend Rob says, be the good Lord willing and the creek don't rise. We have lots of time.
Yeah.
One of the gifts that I've given myself as a result of changing my life, one of the gifts that I've given myself as a result of finally getting it, I had it ass backwards. I was trying to take care of everything else as a means of taking care of me. So I had it ass backwards in that now I understand it as this whole thing revolves for me around self-care. If I take better care of myself,
Yep.
at the end of the day, I am a better employee,
Yep.
and I'm a better father, and I'm a better friend, and I'm a better community-minded citizen.
Yep.
I'm a better human being for everyone and everything else. And it feels selfish as heck
Yep.
for me to realize that I need to take care of me,
Yep.
to be the best me that I can put forward into the world.
It's like that airplane analogy, eh?
100%. Put
Right.
your mask on first. You can't
You know,
help
if
anybody
the
else.
plane's going down,
Yeah.
where does that oxygen mask go? You got your baby in your arms, your husband or your spouse is sitting beside you. That oxygen mask, as hard as it would be to not put it on my baby, that's got to go on me first.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're all screwed
Yeah.
because I'll be passed out when they got to jump off the plane into the ocean or whatever the hell.
Whatever-
it is, right?
whatever that-
You get the analogy, right? But it's so hard. I can speak from my own personal experience. Like even just taking care of my physical health, eating right, exercising, yada yada yada. Addicts, in my belief, have an extra hurdle to get over because the disease doesn't want us, and it's installed in us. But in people who suffer from this thing as well, it's my belief that it takes extra effort.
Some of us are wired for instant
know?
gratification. We want the rewards.
The sitting on the couch is a lot nicer,
dude.
you know?
We want the rewards of the hard work. I'm looking at your exercise bicycle over there.
Yep.
I want
It's just out of frame.
big, strong legs
Yeah. Yeah.
without doing the work.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So there's, and the downside is you realize, or I realize, can't speak for anybody else, I realize that there are no shortcuts to this and I have to do the work myself. But the upside is that doing the work, I not just reap the benefits of myself, but everyone in my life, everyone who cares about me. And sometimes it's the only way that I can pay these people back is to take better care of myself. Because really, at the end of the day, that's all they wanted in the first place. All they really wanted was to see me do better. You know, so the best gift I can give to our children, to my brothers and sisters, to the memory of our parents, is to put the best Lenny forward each and every day, and take better care of myself.
Yeah. Just like you said, when you had it backwards, right? You were trying to put out fires everywhere. You know, it was a blazing inferno. All you had to do was take care of yourself, and all that shit went away. You want to stop it there?
You know what? Like I said, we never know how long we're going to ramble, but boy, can we rattle.
I mean, this is only the second episode.
This is
right?
only the second episode.
So,
we have a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
Once again, we value your participation. So if there's anything that you want us to talk about, do you have any questions, comments, or constructive criticism about anything that we're talking about, or anything you'd like to see us talk about, please drop it in the comments. Slam that like button, subscribe, come back and visit us again. So that's about all the time we have for today. We value your input and your participation.
And until next time, take good care of yourself.
Take care of each other. See you again.
See you on the next one. Bye for now.
Welcome to This Too Shall Cast. You're listening to episode 2, Hitting Bottom. Healing through sharing experiences.